Hey everybody, this is Brooke. I'm here with my week 5 Curb Your Cravings update. So 5 weeks in, I'm down 12.4 pounds. My goal is 50, so I'm 25% of the way there.
All right, end of week 5. Let's see how we did. Don't worry, I'm not holding on to the wall.
I'm pretty pleased with that result. I'm really excited this week though, because this is the week I get to talk about labs and overall health and some of the things that I've learned. And the thing that I'm most excited about is that for 5 weeks now, I've been tracking my blood pressure, and I've been going to Rite Aid every Friday night, and I use their machine. That way I'm consistent with what I'm getting measured. The first week that I went, I was a full week into the program, so I'd already been kind of eating clean for a week, and I think that has a positive benefit. My very first blood pressure reading was 142 over 92, and that's really bad. And if I'd gone to a doctor's office and then had that reading a couple of times in a row, they're going to push pretty hard for blood pressure meds, and I've been on the cusp of that. Well, after 5 weeks, and it was successively better every week. And I talked with Shanti about this a little bit. I didn't do it there. I've been doing it at Rite Aid every Friday.
Okay, good.
So I've gone from 142 over 92, is bad, to 130 over 84, to 128 over 79, to 119 over 83. So last time the top number is under 120, which is where they want you to be. The bottom number is just slightly over 80. So I haven't gotten,
fantastic.
It still says high because one of the bottom numbers is 3 over, but hopefully this Friday I'll be both of them under.
Yeah. So you played a little bit with the 2 different markers here. This is good. This is really good. This is trending the right way.
Yeah. And then we went through a bunch of other labs. Shanti gave me a list of labs that I requested from my doctor at Kaiser, and I got the labs done super easy. I think super cheap. I didn't pay for anything when I was at the Kaiser clinic. I think they're going to bill me $10 maybe. Anyway, everything came back, and surprisingly, they're for the most part pretty good.
Okay. So then we have lab work to go over today. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Great.
Overall, clearly you're healthy. The only thing they really flagged was vitamin D, and the things they flag are the ones that are like, okay, what's going to be life-threatening and not. They're not looking for optimal health. They're just looking for, what is going to be a diagnosis. So, vitamin D14, yeah, most people feel a lot better, and I'll explain what feel means when their vitamin D is like 50, like 40, 50, even 60. Probably anything more than 60 is a little bit too much for people. You can get toxicity from vitamin D, but vitamin D has a lot of different functions. One of them is the mood, for sure. Energy, for sure. It is the strength of your immune system, too. Depends on vitamin D. It's also a shuttle for calcium. It's a shuttle to the bones. So that's probably more mainstream information you'd probably already know about. I would consider trying to get more sunshine. So I would try vitamin D3, and I would also pair it with magnesium, because in vitamin A and K, so they sell these all together in a supplement form. So you don't have to take a bunch of supplements, but just so that they're paired, because when you start taking one supplement, you can quickly become deficient in another. Nutrients are not isolated in nature, so it's important that you kind of get a good balance. You don't want to throw yourself off.
Everything else was in the normal range, but there was some that, Shanti looked at and said, on the diabetic markers, I'm getting towards the high end. And
the HbA1c, so this is the 5.6. If you get to the 5.7 mark, they mark you as pre-diabetic, and they start talking to you about diet changes and maybe some insulin support, that sort of thing. That's pretty close to 5.4. So although Kaiser didn't flag this for you, I would say, hey, let's take a look. Let's keep an eye. Why don't we start making the changes right now to the diet? This is really low, right? This insulin number. We want it usually around 7, somewhere there. Probably no more than 10 would be ideal. And having low insulin can be be really problematic as well.
She talked a little bit about the fact that these labs are really kind of measuring the last 3 months of my diet. And at this point that I took the labs, I'd been 3 weeks into kind of the clean eating on the program. So it'll be interesting to do this in another 3 months or so and kind of see what the full effect of eating the way I'm eating and exercising the way I'm exercising will have on this. Cholesterol was interesting because Kaiser, this one is funny to me because Kaiser measures me in the normal range, but highlights that I'm getting close to high. Essentially normal, slightly elevated cholesterol based on risk scoring. Patients' risk of having a heart attack or stroke in the next 10 years is 3.1%.
Oh, I don't see that.
It's not on there.
Okay.
It's on my...
So this was fasting, which is important. That's good. 154 is total, so that's the sum of all the markers they did.
Okay.
So that doesn't really tell us much. But triglycerides, your triglycerides are 67. Most people really would love to have this number. This is a really healthy triglyceride number, and this is, just from past labs that you've had, you've never seemed to have any issues with cholesterol. I think you've always had a really good, healthy panel on these, with my perspective in functional medicine. So, 67 triglycerides is that's a 3-pronged fat.
And I really think they're starting to prep you for, meds. This is a big pharma push, but I go through this with Shanti a little bit, and I don't think she had a lot of concerns about the measurement there. So interesting to get a different perspective on that. I'm always a little bit, suspicious of the ulterior motives of kind of pushing for, prescriptions and pharmacological solutions to these things. But yeah, really interesting week. This was one I really thought that we were going to be looking at a lot of issues to address, a lot of things that hopefully 3 months down the road would be impacted. But out of the gate, there's not a lot to worry about, knock on wood. My liver enzymes were great. I'm just glad my liver's still there. I haven't treated it great for years. Pretty pleased. Going to stick with the exercise hard. Really want to stay ahead of the weight loss goals, 25% of the way there. 5 weeks in. Can't wait to check in next week, see where we're at. So far, so good.